Hi everyone, Akira here. Introducing what might be a new series? Not sure yet. This is Warrior Cats Stats. I made a poll and I will discuss the results. This poll had 6 questions regarding Warrior Cats OCs and their names. The full name, the first part of the name, the second part of the name, their rank or status, their clan, and if their clan was a made-up one, what was the name of it? There were a total of 3,201 responses when I closed the form, and it was set to 1 response per Google account, so this is mostly unique people. We'll focus on name-related questions as they are the main subject of this video. So I not only asked for the full name, but also for each part of the warrior name, the prefix and suffix, and I requested that people only use warrior names for these 2 questions. So if they had a leader, they would type their name in warrior form. And if they had a cat that didn't fit the naming convention, they would leave both of them blank so they wouldn't impact the results. So, prefixes and suffixes. Before reading the results of this poll, my assumption was that the most common prefixes would be aspects of nature such as leaf and cloud, and the most common suffixes are just cat body parts. You know, fur, tail, claw, pelt, the type of names you see a lot in the books. And my expectations, well, they kinda held true. Top 10 prefixes, let's go. Well, top 13 because number 10 is a 4-way tie. Frost, Fox, Raven, and Ash, all at 22 responses. Number 9, Honey, 26 of you. 7 and 8, Wolf and Willow are tied, 28 responses each. 6, Golden, 30 people. 5, Silver, 35. 4, Moon, 37. 3, Sun, 39. Okay, before I continue, look how funny this is. Sun, Moon, Silver, and Golden are all right next to each other. It's even more fitting when you consider in ancient alchemy, silver is symbolized by the moon and gold by the sun. It makes sense that we see the 2 most prominent celestial bodies and 2 of the most well-known metals so heavily represented in Warrior Cats names. So what could possibly surpass that? Well, Snow at number 2 with 40 OCs, and Night at number 1 with a whopping 60 total characters. Basically, the most obvious prefixes for a white cat and black cat respectively, and trust me, there are plenty of OCs that fall in those categories. So overall, fairly common words. The only word out of these 13 that stands out as not being overly common is Willow, but Willow Pelt was a first art character, so the prefix could definitely be on people's minds. Anywho, these 13 names count for 411 out of 3,076 responses. 125 left this question blank. So there's about a 13.4% chance that your OC's prefix shows up here. Also, for those curious, Fire only had 8. When you consider it's out of 3,201, it seems that people are actually rather reluctant to copy Firestar. Okay, suffix time. 10, Wing, 57 responses. 9, Fur, 58. 8, Claw, 62. 7, Leaf, 64. 6, Pelt, 71. 5, Storm, 73. 4, Feather, 74. 3, Song, 76. 2, Tail, 90. And 1, Heart, 141. Yeah, scratch what I said about no one copying Firestar. They definitely do, with his warrior name suffix being number 1 on this list. I guess it sort of makes sense as heart could be used for a lot of things. It could mean they're sweet, it could mean they're brave, it could mean they're passionate. It's a good word for several positive connotations. Anywho, this top 10 has 6 body parts, but 5 body parts that a cat has. Any body part names I totally get as they very easily combine with nature or color name to describe the cat's body. Storm and Feather could be inspired by Sandstorm, Stormfur, Feathertail, Crowfeather. Leaf could be inspired by Leafpool. And that leaves Song, which does surprise me a little as it's not super common in the books, but it is a rather cute word and a lot of people like to make cute characters, so I guess it works. Those top 10 names are 766 out of 3,050 people who submitted suffixes. Yeah, 25.1%, or roughly 1 in 4 OCs, have a suffix from this list of 10. Essentially, suffixes are a lot less diverse than prefixes. Funnily enough, when you take the most common prefix and suffix, you get Nightheart, one of the current protagonists in the new books. Still, Nightheart is not the most common Warrior Cats OC name. Far from it, actually. So it's time I share the results of that. What is the most common name when you put them together? Keep in mind that, again, I asked you not to use leader, apprentice, or kit names, and instead just use their warrior names. And the results? Well, they're inconclusive. Out of 3,201 submissions, 2,787, or 87% of you, had a completely unique, one-of-a-kind name for your character. 150 names were shared between 2 people, 28 names shared between 3 people, 6 names that 4 people submitted, and 1 single name that 6 people submitted. The most popular name only appeared 6 times out of 3,201. It's just far too small a number to definitively say it's the most popular warrior name. If just 2 people didn't see the form, it would be on the same level as the 6 other names. But still, for your curiosity, that name is Wolfheart. Not what I would have expected, but people do like wolves, I guess. As for the 6 runner-ups, we have Foxtail, Rosethorn, Nightshade, Owlfeather, Ashfall, and Rainsong. But yeah, these names only account for 30 out of 3,201 submissions, so not exactly saying much. All we can really assume is that Warrior Cats OC naming is incredibly diverse. To decide the actually most popular names, I need a larger sample size. Maybe something like 100 times larger? But where would I find that? Oh, hello. Warriors Amino is a place where a lot of people name their profiles off their main OC. I don't use it, but it has over 300,000 profiles, so I went there for answers. Using my top 7 most popular names in the search function, 98 profile names contained Wolfheart, 107 for Foxtail, 30 for Ashfall, 33 for Owlfeather, 10 for Rainsong, 155 for Nightshade, and 41 for Rosethorn. So there is some agreement for Wolfheart, Foxtail, and Nightshade being popular names, but not so much for the rest of them. So that made me curious. What are the most popular OC names according to Warriors Amino? Unfortunately, I am no master coder, so I can only search names one at a time, count, and repeat. But what I can do is use my data to help me know which names to search. So I took a look through my most common prefixes and suffixes, and my most common names, and just started going at it. I searched as many names as I could, and these were the top 10 I could find. 10. Wolfheart, 98 profiles. 9. Foxtail, 107. 8. Moonheart, 108. 7. Snowstorm, 109. 6. Moonpelt, 112. 4 and 5. Moonfur and Silvermoon, 113. 3. Nightclaw, 123. 2. Nightshade, 155. And 1. Moonlight, 367. Though the number for Moonlight is a little iffy, because a lot of people's profiles have Moonlight as a prefix, such as Moonlight Fur, but it's so far ahead of Nightshade, I think it's fair to call it number 1 despite that. I'm definitely seeing a pattern here, with Moon and Night being universally loved. Half the list contains Moon, and Night has 2 and 3. I mean, I guess the basics of Warrior Cats lore completely surround the cats worshipping StarClan, which are represented by the moon and stars of the night sky. So for those words to be in the mind when deciding character names makes a lot of sense. As for Snowstorm, Foxtail, and Wolfheart, a lot of people have White Cat OCs, so Snowstorm is the most common name for that. And Warrior Cats in general has a lot of animal lovers, so it makes sense that foxes and wolves come up. Foxtail and Wolfheart are just the most common names for those 2 animals. If we look at some runner-ups, we got Moonflower and Snowflake, so another moon and snow name, and then Quiet Stream, which I thought was interesting as neither the prefix nor the suffix was overly common. Maybe people were inspired by Silverstream, but why Quiet of all things? This is the biggest mystery out of the popular names in my opinion. Now at this point, I was getting the feeling I might have missed a name or 2 on this list. So I decided to run a quick poll for your opinions, see if anyone thought of anything I missed. Here's what you thought common Warrior Cats names might be. A lot of these are fairly common names, but not quite in the top 10 going by Warriors Amino. Fireheart had a lot, but it was mostly people naming their profile after the canon character, so I didn't want to count that. Now Shadowclaw was actually a really good pick, because I did completely miss that. Shadowclaw actually appears in 161 profiles, making it number 2. Wow. I know it's a move in Pokemon, not sure if that has any effect, but otherwise it does give the evil warrior vibe, so I can totally see why it's popular. Thanks for catching that. I saw Firestorm in the responses, and that appeared in a lot of the profiles, but there were a bunch of people with the name that just had Firestar x Sandstorm in their profile pictures, so I think that's more appreciating the ship than actually making OCs with that name. The only other major name I thought I should bring up is Moonstar. Technically it's disqualified from my list because it's for warrior names only and it is a leader name, but I thought it was worth mentioning because it had 279 profiles and might just be the most popular OC name out there, even more than Moonlight potentially. But of course the Warriors Amino profile method has too much margin of error to really know for sure. So this will be my top 10 list to the best of my ability, take it or leave it. I recognize it's not perfect, but at the very least I can say that these names must be pretty popular. Oh wait, I forgot about these 3 questions. This video is already running long. Well, most characters are standard warriors. Medicine cats are more popular than deputies or leaders. Surprisingly, there are more deputy OCs than leader OCs. Made-up clans reign supreme over actual clans, with about 1 in 3 OCs coming from them. River Clan is the most popular of the existing clans. Thunder and Wind Clan come next, tied, with Shadow Clan falling behind, and Sky Clan suffering behind the cats outside the clans. By far the most common name for a made-up clan is Moon Clan, which should be no surprise if you watched the video up until this point. Following that, we have these clans. Okay, that wasn't too long. Thanks for watching. Alright, bye everyone.